The small church was quiet, filled with a mixture of anticipation and sacred peace. The soft, filtered light from the windows fell on the stone floor, the wooden pews, and the elated faces of those present. Today there was a baptismal service, but not for children. It was an adult baptism, a moment of consciously chosen change and conversion. Jude sat in the back, silent, his thoughts a jumble of fear, doubt, and curiosity. He followed every movement, every glance, every moment of surrender. The water in the basin gleamed in the candlelight, reflecting as if it could bear all the weight of the world, and perhaps even would bear it. The candidates for baptism were led to the water one by one. Jude's eyes followed each face, but one caught his attention. Something familiar, something he couldn't immediately place. His breath caught for a moment. A strange sense of tension coursed through him. When the last person being baptized was called up, Jude felt an even greater silence, as if time itself stood still for a moment. The face that came forward, he knew it. A shock of recognition coursed through him. It was Levi. Levi stood there, silent, his hands clasped. His eyes glistened with emotion. His posture radiated both vulnerability and strength. It was a moment in which everything Jude had said earlier, everything he had tried to do to get Levi back on the right path, seemed to come together. When the minister fully submerged him in the water, Jude felt a wave of relief and joy at the same time. This was not merely a ritual. This was a sign of change, of a new beginning. The water was not just for Levi. It was a sign for everyone present that transformation was possible, that hope could shine through even in the deepest despair. As the service drew to a close, Jude walked slowly toward Levi. His heart was beating fast, but in a calm, liberating way. I see that you have really changed, Jude said softly, his voice sincere, still moved by the emotion of the moment. Levi looked at him, his eyes glistening with tears. Jude, it is your words, your Bible verses that have changed me. You showed me that I still had a choice, that I didn't have to stay where I was, he said with a trembling voice, that I could start over, thanks to you. A warm wave of emotion washed over Jude. His heart grew light, and a quiet satisfaction and gratitude flowed through him. He could hardly find the words, only a gentle smile and an approving nod. While a few churchgoers congratulated Levi and surrounded him with joy, Jude felt a deep peace come over him. He understood that change was possible, that his words, his faith, and his hope had truly touched someone, that he had witnessed a new beginning, not only for Levi, but also for himself. Jude stood there for a moment, his eyes following Levi, who was speaking softly to others and smiling. The silence of the small church seemed to hold the breath of all present. An inner voice whispered within him, softly but clearly, a moment of prayer, a moment of surrender, an acknowledgement of God's guidance in everything that had happened. With slow breathing, Jude closed his eyes and whispered, Lord, thank you for the change that is possible, for the path that leads to forgiveness, for the hope you grant even in brokenness. Let me always be a witness to your work and follow your way with a heart full of love. When he opened his eyes, he saw Levi still shining in the sunlight streaming through the window. For the first time, Jude felt a true peace wash over him. Not everything was resolved, not everything was perfect, but something inside him had shifted. Hope had found its place, and with that hope came a new beginning.